am Bam Dam, a damn Alabama fan and proud of it. Gump Nation forever, brother.
Namath again faking, quickly finds his target.
Now cuts in. He's at the 40-yard line. He's at the 40.
Quick drop throws in the end zone.
Each number represents an expectation, a challenge that only a championship tradition can issue.
Pressure. Anders hits him. The ball is loose.
Alabama, here comes the heat. Cornelius Bennett. Whoa, did he get lit up?
It is an endless passing of the torch that urges the wearer to enrich his legacy.
Brings pressure up the middle in a hurry. They can't get away from Dante. Alexander first down and more.
Richardson breaks free on the sideline. Turns it corner. Can you say goodbye?
Because at Alabama, tradition is not retired. It is built.
Paul Bryant, like you.
I'd like for people to remember me as being a winner, because I ain't never been nothing but a winner.
Alabama defeats Miami. College has succeeded.
This is not the end. This is the beginning.
Roll Tide, everybody. It's with heavy heart tonight that I come to you. I'm going to be bringing everybody on before I go into the details of it. But Roll Tide, thank everyone for being here. And I've got to say it. If you didn't hear from the get-go, we are a Bam Dam family. Always have been, always will be. And we love our family members no matter what. So at this time, I would like to bring on my other brother, Reverend Feelgood. Reverend Feelgood, come on down, sir.
So I want everybody to think here for a second. How much does this game mean to you? Because if it means something to you, you can't stand still. You understand? You play fast. You play strong. You go out there and dominate the guy you're playing against. And make the damn quit. That's our trademark. That's our MO with the team. That's what people know us as.
What's going on, William? Good to see you, brother.
Roll Tide, man. Roll Tide forever and ever.
Ever and ever, brother. But this time, I would like to bring in our other brother behind the damn scene. I don't know if he's even prepared to come on tonight. But let's go ahead and let's bring him on. Mr. Icebox, please come on down, sir.
Does put a smile on my face.
Thank you, Mr. Icebox, for coming on, taking care of the boards. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome, bud.
I don't know how long you're going to be here, but you're welcome to stay as long as you want to, because I've got all kinds of topics tonight. But before we get started, I want to bring another brother down. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever seen the Air Force when they're having a missing brother and they're flying in a missing airman formation. That's what we're going to do tonight. At this time, I want to bring on our great brother, Coach Dude. Come on down, sir. Sorry, y'all. This is a hard one.
Yeah.
I did not see this coming. He's a brother. He's a family member. Coach Dude he is the man. He was the man, and he is the man. I hope that I can get more information on him because I do want to do a dedication one night to him on our show on his military career because he's also a great patriot, great American. Not only a BAMA family member, but he was a great everything. We've had conversations back and forth, and it's just I didn't have a clue. At 5:45 this morning, I found out about it, and I fell out of the bed. I just what? So I want to do that, a misinformation type deal for the man. I love you, Coach Dude. God, tell Mr. Bear Bryant I said hi because I know you're up there with him right now, man. So, William, what'd you like to say on Coach Dude?
I mean, hey, he's a Bama fan all the way. So, I mean, I hated to hear it of myself. So, I mean, he was young. I mean, younger than us. How?
I think it was 43, 44 if he hadn't had a birthday.
Ooh, baby.
So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, rest in peace is all I say. Rest in peace.
Go ahead, Icebox.
Yeah, if I can. A father, husband, coached many kids, always quick with a laugh, a smile, a great friend to this show, all of our shows, to be honest with you. Can't say enough good things about him. Always a pleasure and always a joy to have on your shows and just to talk to. He was a great man in my eyes, and I'm an old man and I've seen a lot of great men, and he was one of them. I miss him already. I do. And there's plenty of others over here in the show that do too. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up before, I won't be coming on Saturday in honor of Coach Dude. We're going to have a dedication Sunday on Van's show. Anybody that wants to come on and say anything, it's in memory of Coach Dude. Won't be a whole lot of football being talked, but we're going to try to do our best we can to honor him and do him justice and say goodbye to our friend. So, Spencer, if you need help with dedication, I'll be glad to do it. But he's sorely missed. As soon as I heard it, I missed him already. May he rest in peace.
Agree with you, sir. And if any of the family members of Coach Dude can get in touch with us and send us any pictures whatsoever, we'd be happy to do a 10-hour show of nothing but his pictures and talking about Coach Dude because we loved him that much.
Yeah.
Your family member was great.
Yeah.
I know people don't really understand how tight-knit that we are, but we are tight, and he was a great man. He told you like it was, and I respected that immensely. But if any of y'all, if you would, my email is in his, I'm there, please. If you can send pictures, it'd be great because not only for Sunday coming up on Van Show, if y'all can get us any quick pictures on that one, it'd be awesome. It would. But for the future down the road, some military stuff, it'd be great for me. But one last time. Coach Dude, love you, brother.
Yep.
Missed you already. Give Bear a big hug for me. Tell him I'll see him one day. All right.
He definitely knew the password.
Do what?
He definitely knew the password. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, bro. Roll Tide.
You're
right. You're right. All right. Now, with that being said, I'd like to get on to what we already set up for tonight for our dedication to the show. So, and on this one, tonight's show is really falls, much as I hate to say it, and it really grabbed me when I heard about this, because Coach Dude, he respected our women. He respected our military. He respected the women in the military. So it's kind of eerie how everything kind of fell into place here. So I'm going to go ahead and say this now for the month of January and probably the first week in February. I am going to be doing dedication to, I'm going to say, the 200 women. 200 years, not 200 women, to 200 years of women in the military in the honor of Coach Dude, because he respected y'all's service. He served and he respects y'all's service. So tonight, I would like to go ahead and dedicate tonight's show to part one of the 200 years of the women in the military. Please roll it, sir. The other picture, please, sir. Thank you, sir. Over 200 years of service. The history of women in the U.S. military. From the battlefields of the American Revolution to the deserts of Kuwait, women have been serving in the military in one form or another for more than 200 years. They have had to overcome decades of obstacles to get to where they are today, serving in greater numbers in combat roles and in leadership positions all around the world. I'm just wanting to take y'all into a little look at the history of women in the military, how their roles have changed over the years, and how the USO has supported them since our founding as an organization in 1941. Tonight's show is about the women in the Revolutionary War. Although women were not always permitted to enlist in the U.S. Armed Forces, many still found ways to serve their nation. During the sorry, Coach Dude, let me talk, brother. I love you. Come on, let me talk. During the Revolutionary War, as colonies armed themselves and joined George Washington and the Continental Army, many of these soldiers' wives, sisters, daughters, mothers went with them. These women traveled alongside the Continental Army, where they would boost morale, as well as mend clothes, tend to wounds, forage for food, cook and clean both laundry and cannons. At this time, please change to the other picture, sir. He ain't here, so let me do it. Give me 1 second here. Now, that's where this picture comes in. I know a lot of men didn't expect to see this, but yes, that is a woman up there loading and packing that cannon to defend our country. Yes. Some women found ways to join the fighting, to fight for their independence. I'm going to give you a couple examples real quick. There were many, but I'm just going to name a couple right now. Margaret Corbin, for example, disguised herself as a man and traveled with her husband to the front lines of battle of Fort Washington, where she helped him load the cannons. When her husband was shot by the enemy fire, Corbin carried on fighting even after she was shot 3 times. She was given a military pension in acknowledgement of her efforts, and years after her death was reburied at West Point with full military honors. It's about damn time. Deborah Sampson, let me give you one more, then I'll stop. Fought disguised as a man for years before her true sex was revealed. know a lot of people, women, men. I know a lot of our young generations don't understand the depth and the dedication, the sacrifices that our women in arms, our husbands, who is willing to let their wives go. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds crazy right now. Husbands willing. But back then, they had to. They had to. But they saw the passion in their wives. They saw the passion for their country in their fellow woman. To not stand in their way. Most likely, that copped popped a cap in their ass. They didn't. But anyway, with this all being said tonight, I would like to bring everybody on. And at this time, for all the women who have served, who have or are serving or will ever serve, we at Bam Dam Sport, we salute you. Thank you. You are not forgotten and never will be. I'm sorry that was kind of long-winded there. It's just, I've got a whole series I'm going to do on out to take this up one step at a time. Let's get to our topic at hand. To huddle or not to huddle? That is the question.
I mean, we're not going to comment on that, or you just.
Well, if you want to, brother, go ahead, man. You take it away. Take it away. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I mean,
no, you go right ahead, brother. You go right ahead.
I mean, I've seen a segment on this. I think one of them cable channels there had something talked about the Revolutionary War and stuff around, I don't know, around the 4th of July or something like that anyway. But yes, it talked about the women and back then, and one of those women that you was talking about there, yes, they did disguise as men to go to deliver messages, or as you said, just load cannons, man. I'm just amazed, because them things ain't fucking damn light as a feather. You know, them balls are damn big ass fucking things. So yeah. And yeah, I salute you. So well, did I say something funny? Okay.
No. I'm just
damn ball.
That's just hilarious. That was hilarious. Anyway.
Damn ball. Okay.
Yeah.
Them balls. They ain't light as a feather.
I'm a new heavy motherfucker, girl.
Go ahead, Mark.
How do you follow William? You can't, you know.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I can. I was going to say something else, but I think you might be hitting on it later on in the month, so I'm going to hold back on that. But when I was in basic training, I had a drill sergeant that was a lady, but she was tough and she was fair and everything else. And I learned then respect for women in the military. I mean, I've always had respect for women, but She just exemplified it. And I didn't do it. I didn't do it. There you go.
Working on it.
I got you. I got you. All right. But yeah, women in the military, they're back then, especially, they were just as tough as nails, if not tougher than the men were. I know how people feel about that kind of stuff, but times have changed. But even in those days at home, even if it wasn't this type of war situations, they cooked, they cleaned, they took care of the family, they took care of their men and husbands and such. Women back then was just tough as nails, and I salute them every bit. They would probably call us sissies now. That's how tough they were.
Well,
So
they
my
called
salute
us
to them.
sissies back then.
Probably would.
Yeah.
And to think of it now, this was during the birth of our nation too. To get away from
Yes,
that
sir.
tyranny over there. So yeah, to get away from England, everything.
I didn't do it.
I know.
I didn't. Got something black here. Must be from work. But yeah, they were tough. And I got something else to say, but I think he's going to end up going somewhere that it would be more fitting. So I'm going to hold off on it. Where did he go? Anyways, well, I know what he's fixing to say. So before we get into it, bud, we'll try to welcome everybody that we can while he's doing what he's doing. Nick Saban Jr., George Lambert, B. Jamin, Mr. Jones, Roll Tide Rise Up. Let's see, Stephen Hicks. And I know I've seen,
Waylon.
I know. I'm sitting there struggling. I didn't know to either call him Godfather or Waylon, and it just went, Coach Dude's messing with me too.
I'm right there with you, brother. Heartfelt.
Yes, sir. But anyways, that's the only ones that I can see right now. Hey, welcome to the show. Thank y'all, and we thank y'all's comments on Coach Dude. We see your heart, and we feel it too. So thank y'all. Go ahead, bud.
MFR, thank you, brother. All right. To the topic at hand. We got TVMA up here. I doubt if we'll need it much tonight because, it's the good time in Alabama right now. It is time to turn the page. It really is. It's time to turn it over. We've done seen what last year did. It's over with. Good, bad, ugly. You can't deny the finished product. You can't deny it. It is what it is. So now it is time for our rebuilding process. It is time to huddle or not to huddle. Did we learn anything during this year, during this playoff? Did we learn anything against our loss against Michigan in the playoff? To huddle or not to huddle? I'm going to go to you first, Tommy. Did you learn anything? Should we go back to old school and start huddling up again? Or should we keep going?
I was listening a little bit a while ago, and I heard some stuff. And I said, that make a lot of sense to me. Michigan was huddling on us, and you recognized that. And when they come out of that huddle, our defense didn't know where to line up. If that's the case, which we've done a good job, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But that made a lot of sense to me. I know we used to do it old school all the time, and it worked for us. And, I could go on and on about what it did, but I'm wondering if they shouldn't bring back that huddle, at least split it up some. But that's not a bad idea. Everybody is going to shotgun. And okay, if that's what they want to do, if that's the end thing to do, okay. But come out of that huddle to see how that works again. See what happens. I believe that would help us a lot.
William, what do you think, sir?
I think so too. I mean, there's probably some that'll benefit from. There's some teams that we play that benefit from as far as if we do a huddle or not. You're right. There's a chance. There's some that a huddle might not be so good because they'll have time to do their adjustments and stuff, and as well as I don't know. In offense now, let me see if I can get this straight. It's up to the offense whether we want to exchange players or not, and they can't do it unless we do. Right? Is that the way they go?
The way the rules are right now, correct. But we can, but you got to be very damn quick because once they go up to the line, that's where my thoughts is in this conversation is they can hurry back up to the line. Everybody, they get set. Then they all stand up and look over to the signs. Okay, while we're running, blah, blah, blah. While they're doing that, the defense is going, okay, they got two guys over here. They got one guy over here. They got two tight ends up in here. I'm calling this defense on that. Because if they bring another one over here, I just got to make one shift. Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm setting up, what I'm seeing right now while they're standing there.
Yeah.
And then they get their call. Granted, at that time, the defense can't change out anybody.
Right.
If they do, then they've got to allow the offense to. So that's a chess match. We've tried to keep the same players on there, but you're putting yourself in a hole because you're not eating up their timeouts. Because back in our day, we'd come in there, we'd have a trick play. Goddamn, we'd come out of that huddle. You got 10 people all over here, quarterback over here. Oh, timeout, 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 timeout. Oh, they just wasted timeout.
Yeah.
They didn't have that at the end of the half or the end of the game. That's why I'm saying about should we go back and do a mixture? Should our young little Coach Reese, who is learning, he's doing, yes, he is not a perfect coordinator right now. I won't deny that. But I've seen how he learned this past year. But can he take what he saw in that one game with a blue chip team, Michigan, doing huddles and go, I can do that with some of our shit. Hell, we can go back doing a wishbone with the quarterback we got right now. You know, something to think about. I'm throwing it out there to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Something makes you go, William, I mean, what do you think, brother?
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be great to go back to old school. That's what we always did before. Huddle. Let's talk about this here. Let's see what we need to do. We've seen how they're lining up on defense. Let's just make the adjustments where we need to, and let's just do it in the huddle. And let's say, okay, they're lining up this way. This one go this way. That one go that, and get it done.
Tommy, you got anything? Icebox, you got anything you want to add to it?
I'm alone, Coach.
50 lashes with a wet noodle, sorry.
Yeah, if you disappear again, yeah, it was me. I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
When they go into a huddle, the defense kind of spreads out getting ready. They kind of do. They don't sit there. They don't just sit there and form out just yet. And I'm wondering if when they come up to the line and you break out of that huddle, the defense may already have their set mind of what they're going to try to do. Right. That's why you got offense all of a sudden stand up, start looking over to the sidelines. Do you think that's a wise thing to do, given you might need to change something up, move this guy over here, move that guy over there? Do you think that would mess you up coming out of the huddle?
The only thing I can answer that with is what we used to do at Pisgah, Alabama, when I was playing football back in the 79s and 80s, was we would line up. Our quarterback would be on the backside looking at how they're lining up. And he would look over. He'd go, here's my play call. But if they shift, blah, 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 if you see this, Spencer, or you see this, Bobby, we're running this. And then we'd break huddle, run up to the line, and we'd do our thing. It's either on 1, 2, or 3. Now, that's something Seth McLaughlin don't understand when to snap at the ball. That's a story for another day.
Okay, I got a question for y'all.
Go for it. Go for it.
See, we all knew this year that we had a bunch of freshmen, on the team, out there on the field. So I don't know if any of those are in the transfer portal or not. I don't know. Are they coming back? Do y'all know that? Or do you think that us having an extra year with them, is that going to help us improve this year? What do y'all think on that? So,
well, for me, any player that's willing to stay another year and learn from our coaching staff, from his fellow players, from our not senior but juniors who are still staying, is a positive. The only thing they're doing is increasing their money, the big money, not the NIL money. I'm talking about the big money on contracts in the NFL. That's my opinion on it. Go ahead there, Icebox.
I quite don't understand the question. What are you looking for?
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm just going to say it like it is. TP. Two different things come to mind when I say TP. You got the transfer
toilet paper
and the toilet. I put them together because I think they're the same thing. Yes. So with that being said, our freshmen are some of them already hitting the transfer portal? Have y'all heard? And the other thing is, if a bunch of those freshmen are coming back, then that should help us with our scheming and better, So
what you want to know is if these freshmen don't hit the transfer portal, would that help us? Is that what you're saying?
Right. That should help us. What I'm saying, but I want y'all's opinion.
Well, anytime you got more experience coming back, and you play freshmen, and you get them come back again the next year, they're already kind of know what the system is, what the practice is going to go like, and they've already got experience. Did they play or not is what I'm wondering if that's what you're getting to. Right. If they didn't play, but they still know the plays, they know how to practice what's going on, they might not have a chance to execute it and see what kind of speed or whatever they need to do to execute that certain play. But at least they still would be a step above and can help the next freshman coming in. It's always a benefit to keep, we was talking to somebody else. I can't remember exactly who it was. It might have been Van or somebody or Junior about, back in the old days, you couldn't play freshmen. You could only play sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Right. And usually your juniors and seniors were your stars on you players because you got to see them some as a sophomore. But by the time they were juniors and seniors, they were, lean, mean, and ready to go. You know what I mean? But once freshmen started playing, it kind of went, look at us now. We're playing freshmen, junior, or sophomore, juniors, and they're gone. They don't make it to senior.
Just so you know, you could always play freshman. It was just coaches never did.
No.
And before y'all start ditching playing freshman now, where would our defense be without Claiborne Downs this past year? See what I'm saying? It depends on the person.
Right.
All right, let me break this into another quick conversation, if you don't mind, real quick. I'm gonna go to you, William, on this question.
Okay.
It's actually, I'm going to give you A and B. A, should all colleges have to beef up their injury insurance on their players if they go to a playoff or go to a championship? or go whatever. I'm talking softball, all of them. I ain't just talking about football. I'm talking about should the college itself be required to beef up their insurance so if they get hurt and they can't go pro, they're covered. Or B, should the damn bowl game or the playoff, who is making the billions off of the TV contracts, who's making all the damn money, be required to do a mountain of insurance for every player that's going to be in there while they're making their billions? What do you think, sir? Or should they be a C?
Well, I mean, another thing that comes to mind is that player getting NIL money. They'd have money to do that with. See, that could be the C, you know. But yes, I see where you're going with that. I think that listen, we've already know that football is a contact sport, and you're going to have injuries. But yes, if and especially you're going to have to work harder to go to if you are in the top four and you're going to the playoffs, and then you get into that. Then yeah, they should be required. I think they should be required to, beef it up because this is their livelihood as it is now. If they get injured in the playoffs or in the big one, then yeah, they need to be compensated securely, for the rest of their life. And I think it should be on the committee doing that. So y'all go ahead. By the way, we're going to let all the naysayers know that we're still Alabama as a team. It's not an individual. It's as a team. Alabama right here. Go ahead. We Lincoln tonight. Roll Tide.
Go ahead, Icebox.
I don't know if you've seen that. That looked like a magic trick. Did you see that? One minute I hear it, then poof, it was like that. All right, that man been studying something.
Hell, that's what she said.
Jeez, man, that was slick. Go back and watch that one. You'll say, poof, right before your very eyes.
Man, what do you think? What do you think, Icebox?
That is a good question. Well, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, they're getting NIL money. So they're already being compensated, looks like to me. Now, you make it to the playoffs, and it's 12-team playoffs now, fellas. 12-team playoffs. Gone as the 4. So should the committee just jack up the insurance for every player? Or should they just jack up the ones that's getting paid and playing? You see where I'm going with this? That's what I'm thinking. Every player that could possibly play in that particular game should be insured in case they do have an injury, a serious injury, mind you.
Right.
Not a bruise on the thigh, not a stub toe, turf toe, whatever you want to call it. I'm talking about a season-ending type where you can't play football no more.
Career
career.
Yes.
I think they should.
So who do you think should? Do you think it should be NCAA to college? Or do you think it should be who's ever holding the event?
Who's ever holding an event. You're right, because they are making bukus of money.
Right.
And they can afford to cover the insurance on these people or these players. I'm sorry. Not the committee, but the bowl itself. So if it's the Orange Bowl should have these players on both sides covered. Yes, I like that. I agree.
Okay, now I agree with you, Mr. Pimp Hat over here. I mean, I agree with you too, Rise Up. But here's the businessman in me. If they required every bowl game out there, and right now with a 12-game playoff coming up, you got the top 4 is going to have home field advantage or something. Anyway, but still you're going to have at least 8 bowl games. any bowl games you play that you got people coming up there you making money on, if you make the bowl itself, wherever it's being played at, provide insurance for all the players. I'd go band, I'd go cheerleader, I'd go everybody. Anybody that comes up in there from that college that gets a career-ending injury because something happened in our game that they need to supply insurance on, so we have better games, not like the one with Georgia and Florida State. That's where I'm going with this, y'all, is that was a piss poor game. Even Kirby Smart was embarrassed for beating their ass that bad. That was so sad. He's even apologizing for beating their ass so damn bad because they didn't have players. The reason why is they didn't want to get hurt. They were out. So that's why I'm going with this comment. But if you do that, who's going to end up at the end of the day? The ticket prices are going to go skyrocket. A beer is skyrocket. A hot dog is skyrocket. People ain't going to be able to afford to go to that stadium because of the insurance. So then they're going to have to demand the TV contracts to make up the difference. So if you're not a top-notch bowl, they're not going to make up the difference. That's where I'm going with this. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of business to this. That's what I'm saying. Do the college pay the extra insurance like Alabama did this year? Because they made money all year long. So they coughed up the money for our players to come play in that bowl game that they look like shit, but they still showed up. They played. But they were covered with extra insurance because they did. That's my point. Who should pay that money? Anybody want to say anything on it?
Well, you got me thinking now. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm sorry, Iceball. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm just saying you got me thinking on that now, because it's gonna be hard to find sponsors if you let the sponsors have to come in there and do that to take care of that. And if it's just a bowl game, as you said, that's not as important as a top two, you know.
Right.
So I don't know. That's tough.
It is tough. That's the reason I'm bringing that up. That's one of them things, the reason I'm bringing it up tonight. You want to say anything else? Icebox, before I move to the next one? I got a lot more, brother.
You already hurt my brain. Jeez. If Alabama paid the insurance cost, are they paying the insurance cost on a softball team that makes it to the series?
Thank you. That I don't know. But they should.
Well, I mean, there again, you're in away from regular games, you know.
Yep.
But what's good for one is good for the other.
Basketball, the whole 9 yards.
But
I mean, what are you going to do if your bass guy wrecks his fucking boat? He can't compete. He's got to have a boat. Does the insurance pay for his boat? I'm just saying.
Yeah. And what if you twist your knee going up for a dunk coming down and you twist your knee, career ending?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
Go ahead.
We would like to pass on the expense of an insurance to the bowl game because they are making a lot of money. But there again, that's a very good point too. Hot dogs, Coca-Colas, beer, ticket prices, parking, everything. They're going to jack up everything to cover that cost. So it makes you wonder how much that cost really is. Is it worth it? And can
they get there? And can people actually still afford to go?
Yeah.
So that's where you go with that.
They still would go, though.
Well,
go ahead, bro.
Yeah, before you change that now, let's go ahead with this. Now, remember during the off, or maybe during the period of we're being able to practice at Alabama. Okay, we're being able to practice. Remember, we had that player get injured in practice. You know, well, I know that's going to be on the college itself to take care of that. But
Not if the insurance is there for the bowl game, it ain't. You're there practicing for the bowl game. See, that's where all this legal shit gets thrown up here. That's a whole different damn world. That's the reason I'm bringing this up, because somebody's got to get that cost, and somebody's going to have to pay for it. Now, who's paying for it is us fans. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But there again, that's during practice, during a non-bowl game, that will come out insurance from the college itself would take care of that. You know, the college itself insured, right? So that
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I can't answer that. I'll be right back, Jim, and go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do y'all want to go ahead and talk about what's been asked already in the chat? Because we had 2 questions, very good questions out there, I think. And do y'all want to go ahead and answer that?
Which ones you?
Who would we have as a new DC coach and OC coach if that comes to, that we need? You know.
Well, that's a deep hole. That's a deep hole.
Very deep.
Let me ask you this: who do you want?
Me, I mean, there's a lot of fine ones that could be good for that position. So, I mean, it's been thrown around that T-Rob, you know, would be a good DC coach, and you know, there's been some players that's been thrown around there. And by the way, Antonio Langham, welcome to the Hall of Fame, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Glad you remembered that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry about that, Spencer. We're just trying to kill time till you got back.
Now, that's a good thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I had to go play it myself. I appreciate y'all waiting on me.
Well, that didn't take long, and it wasn't long, was it?
It don't take long because it ain't long. So there you go.
By the
Just
way,
a whistle and a hell you do. And that's all I need.
By the way, the reason that I don't look all nice and pretty tonight, I'm wearing my hats. I'm on this here heart monitor, so I hadn't had a chance to shower, but I will tomorrow. I guarantee you, folks.
You flash me, I'm flashing you, brother. Don't even go there.
I'm just saying, there's a reason why I'm kind
like
of smelled a little bit, just a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I'll have my shower tomorrow.
Yeah, my nipples are still hard. All right.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to change topics a little bit right here.
Okay.
And biggest reason I'm doing this is because I wrote this first page down last week. And I'm right here. I'm right here at the bottom of the first page. I go in, I asked a question because I was curious. Is Kevin Steele going to give us one more year? Well, we all know that answer. Hell no, he's retiring.
Come on, Ashley, give me an easy one.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? But I already wrote that down because in my mind, I'm thinking of shit, and yep, no, he ain't. So, with that being said, who would you, William, like to see replace Kevin Steele? Because he brought us back. He brought the Alabama. Now, yes, I would love one more year out of him because he wasn't there yet. He just started the bitch slapping of our defensive line, going in there showing, but he didn't finish the body slamming, the murder ball. He didn't get that part finished yet. But he got us back at Alabama defense football. So since now he's going, which I can't blame him, who would you like to see replace him, sir?
Well, good question. Myself, I would want somebody. I personally would want somebody, like you said, to finish the job there, to not only do that, but to get in there and do the body slamming and shit or whatever we got to do. That's what we need to do. Yes. Someone that comes close to that, I don't know. I don't know much. I'm sorry, I don't know much about T-Rob, but if I'm just taking it from people that, you know, he'd be a good one, and if he's the one, so be it. If he's the one that can get in there and get the job done, hey, you know, Antonio Langham, I don't know if he would do that or not. I mean, would he come back, or, you know, somebody else that played defense, you know, for Alabama? So, you know, somebody to do that. So, yeah, T-Rob, I mean, if he, you know, people's got confidence in him there, you know, somebody said something about Pruitt just then, you know, hey, you know, I don't know. He's got baggage. You know, we all know that he's got baggage, and I don't know what's going to follow that, but, you know, that's who I got. So just go ahead.
Icebox.
T-Rob, Charlie Strong, Jeremy Pruitt is mainly the big three names that everybody's going to be talking about. But each one has a qualification that I like. I heard with T-Rob, he's been doing this for years and years, and followed Kevin Steele, as did Charlie Strong. They know his type of defense. If I'm thinking right, T-Rob was the one that coached the secondary, the quarterbacks. It ain't much more to it except for the defense.
Cornerback, not quarterbacks. Cornerbacks.
Did I say corner or quarter?
You say quarter.
Corner.
You say quarter because you only quarter. But anyway, go ahead.
I got a quarter.
Well, I just cut a corner of it off. Corner.
Yeah. There's a quarter.
Here's a quarter. Call somebody who cares.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, you got experience and knowledge with T-Rob. Jeremy Pruitt, he's garbage, but baggage. Don't straighten me out again. But he was a damn good defensive coach. He really was.
Mm-hmm.
And you know Saban, he believes in giving second chances. So there again. Or do you go outside the box?
Only when I'm trying to get it excited do I go outside the box.
What do you mean excited? You're 2.5 inch excited?
Getting the box excited. Did I go outside the box? Just saying. Anyway.
No, I'm sure whoever Saban picks is going to be just fine. I'm just hoping they can continue on the rebuild that Kevin Steele has laid out. Kevin Steele has changed everything back to where it should be.
Yes, he has. This is really easy for me on this one. Would be because T-Rod is our future or somebody else's future as a DC because he's a great young talent. Yes, I know he played for that team down there beside Georgia, but still, he's a great talent. He's outstanding. He does great things. But I would love to see him at least work one more series under another older coach so he could learn the different mindsets and how way they think works compared to the person that he admires works, that he can compare the two and make judgment calls when it's his time. So I would love for either Charlie Strong or Mel Tucker to take the defensive DC, but have T-Rod as bump him up in pay. So, but he would be their direct assistant coordinator getting ready to take over when they retire. Because I'm sorry, Charlie Strong's old. Mel Tucker's old. They're our age. They're ready to retire too. So it would be good for him to get their knowledge also. That's how I feel about it. Y'all got anything to say about that?
Do you want to bring in a new name, new blood?
The problem if you did that is they don't know how Nick Saban does things because he ain't retiring. It ain't like we're doing a whole rebuild.
Well, that's Tommy Reese how that works.
That was a problem at the beginning of this year that Reese had to learn Coach Saban. And much as I love my defensive coordinator, I hate he's gone, but he had to refresh himself on what Nick Saban wanted. So that first couple of games was rough. I really hate to bring somebody else new in right off the get-go next year. Because Glenn Schumann from Georgia, he'd be a good one. I ain't gonna deny that. He'd be a good one. He's being taught under our great defensive coordinator that we had, Kirby Smart. So, I'd wait on that one. That's me personally.
Well, he's also he was had some other positions too before that, I think, didn't he, or did he not? Wasn't he like assistant something? I don't know.
Yes, he's got a lot more experience. Yes, sir. A lot more. I agree with you. Yes. But I'm just looking at what we got to do next year because I'm thinking we're winning the Natty next year. We got everybody coming, not everybody, but we have a group of people coming back. We have Milroe coming back, and it's another – God, we're almost done. Can y'all give me 30 more minutes, or do we need to go ahead and close this down?
I'm good.
William? All right. So this is kind of a little bit off topic here, but we got Milroe. He, on this offseason, he needs to go whatever coaching camps he needs to go to, quarterback camps he needs to go to learn to do the short passes because he's limited Reese's play calling because he's not good at short passes. With the rushes that Michigan was doing to us, hell, that was an easy fix. The tight end, bump, he runs out, he catches the ball, get 5-10 yards. Do that all night long, you beat their ass. The running back out of the backfield, boom. Crossing routes, boom. Automatic bip. It's not there. We didn't even try it. So that's a major area of improvement that I hope Milroe does in this offseason. And I hope Tommy Reese realizes that's a major part what he needs to do to be a championship offensive coordinator. What do you think there, Icebox? I almost said it.
Uh-oh.
And I have my finger on the button too, buddy.
Almost did.
Coach Dude.
Almost got that.
Coach Dude.
Milroe, I've talked to Junior about this, and we've got really high hopes for Milroe. He needs a little more work, but I think he needs to consider not so much worried about being that passing quarterback. He needs to work on his short game. That's what I call it, the short game. Short passes across your sideline to sideline. Don't play with it. Zip it over there. That's my opinion. And he was doing so I'll check that box, and he done pretty good till that game is so hard to call about the short game because the defensive line was coming through. So I might have to cut that short on that one. But yeah, he needs to work on his game, get better at his passing, but be ready to pass, but let his legs do the work. that his judgment, that's what I'm trying to get at. Should I have a calling play for running and go for it when I see it? Or should I and let that running game, like we was talking about the wishbone, quarterback, running back, maybe another running back. And if that's not there, have it set up to where he can drop back, pass, short game, long game, whatever he wants to do. Work on your accuracy, yeah. But not so much that you forget about running the ball. That's what I want to see Milroe do. Commit himself to win the game and not try to improve his chances to get in the NFL. That's what I would like to see out of him.
All right, big dog. Go ahead, Reverend Feelgood.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's the more experience he can get, the better he'll be. And to me, he's just not there yet. I mean, there's been people that's been open that he could have thrown to, but he's only looking and focused on one person. And that's a lot of his problem. If he would just look and see, because I've seen it in game, he'd be right there, and then maybe 20, 25 feet away, there's a guy open over there, but he's just focused right here. I mean, you can't do that, man. I mean, look and scan better and do that. I mean, but be consistent with what you want to do, right? But look at the situation that you got. If you have to run for your life, run and get what we need. Yes, if you got it. If you don't, throw the ball away, man. If nothing else, throw it away. Throw it to the damn out of bounds or whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to masturbate right now. Anyway. Brother, I understand what you're saying. I feel your pain. But one thing you're misunderstanding, all the hell and back. My brother Milroe didn't have a chance to do jack shit because he was trying to find out where the ball was. He was having the man's over, what is it, 6'2"? I mean, he's having to bend over, look at his fucking balls to trying to find out where the football is because it's either rolling around him, hitting him in the damn ankles. Luckily, it might be coming at his balls because he has to get the ball before he can look up and see where the damn blitzes are coming from. Any other quarterback in the fucking college football gets the ball right here, and they're looking, and they make a play call. They make their adjustment. Not Milroe. Milroe's got his head down here trying to find the fucking ball. But now Seth is gone. And with that being said, that leads me into this real quick. No matter what we do next year, no matter how much Milroe learns, no matter what the running backs do, they all go to private camps. All these damn backers spending all this money on them, get them the massages, the deep up the shit, they're all up in it. They're all coming back all pumped up. It don't make a damn if we don't have an offensive line. The offensive line should be the number one, P1, priority number one of Alabama this offseason. And with that being said, I've got a list of offensive line coaches that I personally would love to see.
Can I have
number one? Oh, go ahead.
All right. This time, when you go down to Miami, don't take your wide receivers. Grab every damn offensive lineman that you can find and take them down there and work out and see which one of them you would like to be your best center. And buddy up to all of them because they're the ones that are saving your life, not them wide receivers. Don't take them wide receivers back to Miami. Take the whole offensive line, all of them, because you never know which ones you're going to work with. All right, go ahead.
I got you on that one. But here's me. My number one hire If I'm Nick Saban and I got, well, hell, he's already has the money, but I'm just talking about, the backing money that's willing to pay whatever it takes to get the best offensive line coach. It would be the smartest lineman who ever played for the University of Alabama, Barrett Jones. 4.0 grade point average. He mastered every fucking position and won awards at guard, tackle, and center. I would go after him right now with every bit of money, whatever he needs, and I would hire a damn gigolo for his wife. Whatever it would take for him to be in there, because there's nothing that a lineman or a center could see that man hadn't already saw. And when that man sees a center roll a ball back to his quarterback, he's going to bench his ass. He ain't going to leave him out there the whole fucking game. He ain't going to cost you a championship. He's going to call it right there. Son, you need to come on over here. We're going to have to talk. You're going to have to go on special teams, water boy, or you're going to be washing jockeys. I'm sorry. We don't want you to lose your scholarship, but we got to find somewhere else for you. That's my number one is Barrett Jones.
And don't forget.
Go ahead.
And don't forget, he was also a Heisman finalist. Don't forget that.
Well, there you go. I'm just saying, that would be my number one I'd go after. And I would pay whatever money would take to get him. Number two for me would be Garrett Riley from Clemson as my offensive coordinator. Garrett Riley. Now, Clemson, they do have their faults. They've faltered a little bit here and there, but that offensive line has stayed steady the whole time he's been there. It's more damn steady than what our line has been over the past 4 fucking years. I would go after Garrett Riley. Number 3 for me, unless y'all got something y'all want to say about Garrett Riley. I'm going to go with number 3. My number 3, and y'all going to see a damn rhythm going here, is Ryan Grubb, Washington. Now, granted, I know Michigan just damn pussy whipped their ass. I understand that. But look what this man has done with 2- and 3-star blue chip offensive linemen all last season. Look what he did. He made them believe. He made them do it. Hell, they was undefeated before they played Michigan. So I would go after him too if it was me. Did anybody want to disagree with that?
No. But are you asking me to pick?
I'm going to go with number 4 then. My number 4 would be Andy. I don't know how to say his last name. Ludwig, Ludwig, from Utah.
Ludwig.
That offensive line has been bad to the fucking bone. And I think y'all are starting to read a common thing with me right now. It's coaches who take blue chips, 2, 3, 4-star linemen, and make them professionals. I think y'all starting to see where I'm going with this. It ain't a bunch of 5 stars. Yeah, I got this, blah, blah, blah. No, they're actually training them how to be a lineman, how to block, how to set their feet, how to do techniques. So I think y'all starting to read where I'm going with this. My next one, number 5, Phil. Longo, Longo, from Wisconsin. That Wisconsin line was bad to the friggin' bone. What I would give for our offensive line dudes half of what Wisconsin did this year. We'd be national champions. National champions. Flipping the page. Mine, number 6, Mike DeBrock, LSU. Who we call LSU. As much as I do not like Brian Kelly, I don't like his technique. I don't like his coaching. I don't like his recruiting. I don't like nothing about him. I don't even like the damn Dixie licks. I don't like nothing about the man, straight up. But his offensive line coach, Mike, is damn good. Damn good. I would have no problem if we can't get none of the other 5.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
No. I was Xing out on the LSU offensive coach because Jalen Daniels had to run a lot. I don't know if that was designed or what, but he had to run a lot. So I'm kind of like, I don't know about that as our offensive line coach. But like you said, if the top of the list we can't get. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. That's where I'm going. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop right there because I know we're running out of time and I want to get to y'all. I want y'all's thoughts on who you would want. And I'm going to go to you, Icebox, first on this one.
Top of the list, Barrett Jones. I like that. And the reason why is because he's played for Alabama. He's not been in coaching. I don't know if he coaches now, but he's not been into coaching. But like you said, he knows every position. He knows all about offensive line. He could come in and teach these young men, and he can learn also under Nick Saban and Tommy Rees about what they want, what he needs to do with them, and be able to stay with Alabama. It would be rock hard money would be the only thing that would get him away from Alabama. Just think of how long he would stay with us, and we would have a better offensive line because of him. That's why I would want Barrett Jones. Even though you got good coaches like you just mentioned for Washington and all the rest of them, I'm thinking let's don't go scheme. Let's get somebody who could train these young men.
Thank you.
Teach them. And him also learn in the process. And he might mess up here and there, but you know what I'm saying? He will stay with us and help our line for at least another 2 or 3 years, if not longer.
Can either one of y'all or anybody in our chat tell me I'm wrong that our biggest problem at Alabama for the past 4 years is we have not been able to develop offensive linemen? Can anybody argue that fact? William?
I won't argue that at all. I'm with y'all on that on Barrett Jones. He got those accolades and awards and stuff during 2011, and if I remember right, 2011, 2012 were back to back for us.
Mm-hmm.
So he's on a national championship team. So I agree. I believe he'd be the best if he would come over and do that. It would be great.
Come off the hip. He's in the NFL right now, and he's got up to the age, and now he's getting to the practice squad. So this is the time to offer the man the money to come home and teach us. That's what I'm saying. He's been there for a while. His knees are hurting, his body's hurting, and it might be the right time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question, Spencer.
Yeah.
Blake Miles has been pushing for you to say something about Dan Mullen. Could you see him as an offensive line coach?
No, not an offensive line coach. I can't.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Dan Mullins. Yep. I can't. That I can't. Now,
as an offensive
I will
coach,
give
maybe.
Dan Mullins his due. If all of our other options run out on a DC, I would accept Dan Mullins as a DC. But as a defensive line coach,
and we're talking offensive line.
Even offensive line, no. Because he's not a lineman. That's why. That's okay. I'm gonna go on this real quick. I know I can't go into all this, but I'm gonna go on this real quick. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Can I say something on Dan or not?
Oh, please go for it, because I'm getting ready to blow up. Please go for it. Please go for it.
Make it quick, because I want to hear this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best. Phil. I'm gonna do my best. But Dan Mullen, I don't believe. Somebody even said he's a prick. I don't know. But I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that he would want to come out of that cushy. I'm a commentator. I'm gonna stay right here and help call plays or whatever, or commentator. I think he's halftime commentator. I think that's right. Right. I believe that's what he's doing. I don't think he'll want to leave that. So go ahead.
You are
Give
correct.
it to me. Give it to me. I know that's what she said. You never could do it, but come on, give it to me.
I know. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to bend over, grab your ankles. Here it comes. All right. But
maybe I shouldn't put this green thing up to my mouth, huh?
Oh, there you go. Hell, ain't nothing wrong with little Martian dick. Anyway. Okay. All right. I gotta do this. I've tried to keep this as more A than M tonight, but anyway, here we go. When it comes, all right.
I'm in suspense. Come on.
I know you are. And I'm trying to think of the best way to say this so it comes across correctly.
Uh-oh.
Our coach Nick Saban, who is the greatest of all times. Nobody's going to change my mind. Now, right behind him is Bear Bryant. I think that Nick Saban has passed Bear Bryant because of the situations today that Nick Saban's had to deal with to get the results that he did, compared to loading up tearaway jerseys, blah, 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 that our great Bear Bryant did. All right, but with that being said, our great coach, Nick Saban, really needs to think about all these fucking endless hires. Granted, yes, it's legal. Bring them all in. Oh, goddamn, you fucked somebody. You wrecked a motorcycle. You got busted. You did drugs. You gave somebody money in a damn McDonald bag. Blah, 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 blah. And you make a great coach out of them. That's wonderful. That's all well and great. But let's look at what Alabama needs right now. Let's look at P1. Priority number one. Our priority number one, we need position coaches. We need the best position coaches you can find. We don't need goddamn analysts. We need position coaches. You're a fucking analyst, Nick Saban, when you look at film. All right? So let's get position coach. We got a problem at center. Let's find the best fucking center out there, hire them to do nothing but teach how to center the damn ball. We have a problem of pulling guards. Let's find the best fucking pulling guard out there to teach how to do pulling guards. We have the fucking tackle who cannot jump out and put his hands on somebody blitzing. Well, let's get the best tackle out there. Let's pay them money. Nick Saban, you're making millions, brother. Millions. And I'm proud for you. You deserve every fucking penny you are getting. You have brought so much money for the university. You have changed people's lives. You have helped people. I mean, you deserve everything you got. But let's get real. How many fucking analysts are you need to pay up there in a booth to do film study? We need people in the fucking trenches. We need people in these guys' faces. Seriously, we need shake their goddamn ass. I mean, smack them a fucking round. Tell them their mama's ugly. We need them up in this to get them motivated. Because that's what we're fucking missing that we used to have because you were scared, Coach Nick Saban, that they're going to enter transfer portal. You're going to lose them. Just like our brother Blackshire. God, I love him. God, I love him. Blackshire, please reconsider. Give it one more year because this next year is your year, brother, at Alabama, 2024. Please, I'm begging you, please reconsider. 2024 is your year at the University of Alabama. Go ahead. That's what I got on that one.
All right, let me ask y'all this.
Please.
Do you really necessarily think that in the O-line, I said it at the beginning of the year, remember our show that I said Saban is changing his faces? You remember what I said? And you know what I meant by that.
Yep, I did.
This is the first year that he has done that. He has changed it. He is changing from one system to another system, back the way he used to do things. In that process, you have got recruits that you have recruited for in a certain scheme that you were doing. These players are now having to adjust to the scheme that they are changing over to. You see where I'm going with this? Is it that we need those kind of recruits that are going to be hard-nosed in running game? Because I'm a firm believer in the old school ways of run the ball first and then pass. If a team O-line can block for a running back, they will also be able to do pass blocking also. It's not hard, to be honest with you. So do we want more players of that caliber versus the O-line coach? You see where I'm going with that?
I see where you're going with it. Go ahead, William.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. It's confusing to the players, as you said. You shouldn't have to change from one way, playing something one way all this time, and now you're going to change up to something else. That's confusing. That confused the hell out of me, and I'm already confused anyway. Blah, 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 blah. So you don't need to confuse me anymore. I know that. And I can imagine these players, they're getting used to a certain system, and then we're having this here coming all of a sudden, and we're changing over and stuff. I mean, get 2 or 3 schemes down. Y'all study that, get it done, and go with that. So,
but I know what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, quit getting these analysts so much, and put the money into hiring better position coaches. And he's talking about O-line, D-line, everybody else.
Connor, whatever you need, whatever you was lacking the year before, put that money in that position for the next year.
Right.
Yeah.
There's only so many people can look at fucking film. There's only so many people can look at blueprints and go, all right, y'all fucked up. I do that all the time. But it only takes one viewing. I don't need a whole group of engineers going, yeah, that shit ain't gonna work.
Just like Axel Foley. Hey, I'm with the building inspector department here. Y'all got this hold out?
See my point, y'all. I mean, I've got so much more that I want to do tonight, but I'm gonna save it for later. God, how much? A lot of material here, y'all. A lot of material.
How much would you give for the best O-line coach? How much would you give?
How much would I give?
Yep.
since I ain't got nothing, hell, I'll take it up the damn ass for him. Because that's all I can give. I ain't got no money. I mean, what does he want? He wants my wife? Wants my dog? He ain't getting my damn dog. But, I mean, that's old country. But, I mean, shit. What would it take? Whew, I'm willing to give what I'm able to give. I won't like it. I will hate it. But I might cut his dick off afterwards, but still. I want the best offensive line coach we can have. And if our problem is a center, which it had been, I want the best fucking center out there. And he's best to have a $500,000 contract to teach our center how to hike a fucking football.
I kind of hated I asked that question now.
I bet you do. So does your wife. That's beside the point. I know my wife does.
I can take it up my ass. You got me squinching over here, buddy.
I'm diehard Bama. I'm diehard as the rest of my damn life. I'm just telling y'all. That's all I can offer. I'm a poor man. I ain't got all their damn millions.
Oh, Lordy, that was funny. Well,
all right.
Go ahead.
We're gonna have to shut this one down, y'all. I've got like shit. 4 more damn pages. Anyway, we got to shut this down tonight, y'all. It's been great. I appreciate you, Icebox, coming on. You brought in great insight. Thank you. And my brother over here, William, you know you're the man. And Coach Dude, love you, brother. I'll see you before long.
Amen. Before we go to the Bear, guys, remember I will not be running the show Saturday out of respect for Coach Dude. We will be running Sunday a type of a memorial type show. If you got anything you will come on and say about Coach Dude, we'll be glad to have you. We're going to try to do our best that we can with that. I know it's going to be difficult, but he was so admired and so appreciated and so loved on these channels. So anyways, I will not be on Saturday, and we will be on Sunday at 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern. Guys, y'all come be with us to show your respects to Coach Dude, the best that we know how. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got anything else? I'll take us out.
That's it. Thank you, sir.
All right, bud.
Thank both y'all. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
You've got to be better in all 3 areas of life, which of course are spiritual, mental, and physical. You must be able to discipline yourself. If you don't learn but one thing out of football, it'll be worthwhile. There's certain sacrifices that you will have to make. There are going to be many sacrifices you have to make in later life. To fight. Oh, I don't mean fist fight. I mean to get up and come back and get up and come back and get up and come back again after you've been knocked down. And that could happen to you in later life. But if it does, you're going to know how to handle it. There's no one that ever has or ever will accomplish anything alone. I've read about self-made men. That's Tommy Rot, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know how to define intangibles. And I know that if you learn these lessons, you'll have it. And if you have it, you'll win, and you'll be better prepared in those 3 areas of life that we've been talking about. That there are going to be times for everyone that you're going to get discouraged. But if you never lose sight of your objective and never give up on yourself, if we do that as a team, 11 at the time, 4 years from now, why, we'll be walking out of here as national champion.